Hello. Here's another episode of Journey of Life, Love and Lessons. And today we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving week.
Love Thanksgiving.
Yes, we get to spend time with family and friends and everything like that. So this is just a wonderful time. We just want to get on here and just be grateful of things.
Yes.
And a lot of things that we do, we're grateful of is for each other.
Right.
And also for our things we do of leadership, of Next Level Leadership Academy.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're able to help people see the greatness within them. Sometimes you may think, I can't get any further.
Yeah, but there's always that untapped potential and that unlimited purpose that God has for each one of us. And each one of us has something within us that we haven't even tapped into yet. Yes. And we spend a lifetime growing into that and searching for that and to being able to help other people. So that's what we do as Next Level Leadership Academy, is to help leaders and individuals to grow themselves. And I believe it's important to have that personal development, but also to have that strategic process in relationship building, communication skills to enhance the mental well-being that they need to be able to be sustainable in their success. And so that's what we do. We love helping leadership, and we love helping different leaders on different levels. And we know that leadership is just not about maybe being a CEO, but it's also about leading yourself in personal development. It's also about leading your family as a parent, as a single parent, and also about organizations, companies, businesses, ministries. You're leading yourself, and you're leading and influence and impacting others. So you are always leading, whether it's your own self or whether you have a group of people, a team, or your family, your children, people, your classroom, you're as a school teacher, you're leading. So we love helping people to see that they can go that extra and above of where they're at, and to know that, because we're always searching for fulfillment.
Yes.
And I believe that is something that God has placed in their heart, to be able to help others to see that next level vision, to step into that next level purpose, and that they can have more fulfillment and absolutely love their life. And so that's what we do at Next Level Leadership Academy. And we're so excited to be able to help leaders of all levels, and to be able to be more of an influence and impact to the people that they are, have maybe that they're leading.
True. And also we have our show here, the Journey of Life, Love and Lessons, to give people the opportunity to share about their experiences and their life and their journeys.
Yes.
Talking about leadership and life and everything. If you've seen other episodes we've had, we have a broad type of things that people sharing things with us. And we love giving that opportunity to people to share their own life experiences.
Right. Because we're all about impacting lives together. It's not just about what we do, because there's other leaders who's doing things that we can't impact, and there's people that we can impact that they can't. So we're all about impacting lives together. And that's what this show was created for, so that other leaders or other people can come on here and share their story, to give inspiration, to give hope, and to see transformation and breakthrough in the lives of the people and the viewers who's watching. And we have had some incredible guests on here, and there's still a lot more incredible guests to come. And we're so excited that we are part of this journey, that we can be part of impacting people, to share the goodness and being grateful and thankful for and blessed for all that God has placed in their life. And that's what this show is created for, to be able to have that connection and to love each other as God has put the purpose into them. And this show is all about Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is kind of like pretty explanatory on what this season is all about.
Yeah, giving thanks for things. I'm thankful for you, my wife.
For you, my husband.
Yes. The things we do together, with our family, our kids and grandkids, or as we call them, grand angels.
Grand angels. They're sent from heaven. They are our grand angels.
And we're so grateful for that. And, this is time of the year, we get to spend time with family. Yes. And sometimes for some of us, you may not be able to have family all right in the same room physically.
Right.
Well, for us, a lot of our kids are throughout the United States and their places. So, the ones that are going to be here, we're going to love it.
Absolutely gonna love it. Yeah, God has put them in our life to treasure them and to be get that close bond and to be there for each other through life. And life has its ups and downs,
Mhm.
right? And all that life brings is what I believe is a family unit supposed to be. And God entrusted, the lives of our children into, our responsibility to teach them, to help them to grow. And they teach us now as well.
Yeah.
They're adults now. And so, yeah, there's things that they teach us that are like, wow, didn't know about that. Or, it's
Oh,
just
yes.
crazy how roles can change sometimes. But, when they grow up and we're thankful for each one of them, they're all different.
Yes.
They all have their own unique personalities and their own giftings and talents and interests. And so it's pretty interesting. So we're thankful for them.
And sometimes we forget about things that, that we can be thankful for.
Hmm.
I know with us, we pray, always have to say, thank you, God, for the things you put in our lives, for
Hmm.
each other and
Right.
what things we've accomplished and where we're at in our lives and who we've been able to impact and those that be able to
Right.
impact us.
Right.
Because sometimes we just take advantage of, or take, not just advantage, but take for granted
Yeah.
the things we have. We think, oh, I deserve it. I earn it.
Mm.
The things we work hard for, we do get, it's grateful, but we still have to learn to keep a thankfulness mind,
Hmm.
very being thankful. I have to tell myself that, I have to be thankful for, things that I do can easily take for granted.
Yeah. And it's easy to do. I mean, especially you can have the family around you, the friends around you, the coworkers around you, and you're like, oh, they know I like them. They know I care for them. But do they? And so it's kind of great to be able to, I mean, we should do this all year, just kind of put that gratefulness in there. But this time of the year is set aside, seems like for most people in the reflection. And
Mm,
they like, okay, I'm going to let this person know that I care for them. This person let them know that, I do appreciate them when they may not do it out throughout the year. But, this is a time, where we can do those little extra things that we may not reflect on or think about throughout the year. And there's so many different things. And we want to give you a few tips and insights, on how to just be that person who shows gratefulness and who is thankful. And you may not be a person who's like, oh, I just don't do that. Well, take the time to do that.
yes.
You would like to know that you're appreciated. And so someone else would as well. So we want to just kind of share a few things on how to do that. One thing that I think is a great way to do, and that is to go wherever you're at, because people from all over the world hear this and listen and watch our show. So wherever you're at in the world, you have the community around you, right? So you have restaurants and you have coffee shops and you have things that people just go on a day-to-day basis, or they may think, well, I can't afford that, I don't go there, but there's something that you can do, and you can go to the different restaurants, and maybe not all restaurants or coffee shops or places will do this, but check it out and see. But you can go to a different restaurant or a coffee shop, Starbucks, a local coffee shop, whatever that is, and just ask, say, can I pay for somebody's meal?
Yeah, that's
Can I
great.
pay for somebody's coffee? And so you can go to, say, like a coffee shop and say, I want to prepay for a large cup of coffee, or give them a $5 or $10 uh, prepaid card where they can just say, here, they can get a receipt and they're like, this is it, this is paid for, I can't afford it. And this is something that someone has blessed us with. And you can get that prepaid for them, and they can take that up there and they can just say, hey, you know, somebody has blessed me with this. And they can take that receipt, because some restaurants, what they do is they put, like, you prepay something, they can put a receipt on a board beside it or by the register. And the people that can't afford it, or people who just, maybe not have the money at the time.
Right.
We don't want people to abuse that, but get that receipt and say, this is what I would like to have right now. And so you can do that one. And also, like a restaurant, it could be anywhere from McDonald's, or it could be like a nice restaurant, whatever is in your local area. And just ask them, can I prepay for somebody's meal? And give them, like grilled chicken and some couple sides, whatever the meal is that you choose. And let them have that receipt pay for it, they have the receipt, and let somebody else come in. When they come in, they can bless somebody with that. So that's something that you don't have to take the credit for it, but it's all about the giving. And so if you can do that, go to your local restaurants, coffee shops, and do that. That is the amazing thing to do, to prepaid meals or prepaid coffee that you can bless somebody else with as well. And it has been effective. I know places that does that we have been to, and we've had people that's told us about different things about that as well, that's worked in those environments. And it's been, they can see the expression on people's face when they really, may have kids with them. They can only afford so many meals or share or something, and you can bless them from that. And so it's good that they see on both ends of that to be able to help that.
Yeah,
in that environment and at the season.
Yes. And like there's like a local, I think a radio station or something like that. It's kind of like pay ahead and through a drive-through, and that's happened to us. Son and I was at one time going through a restaurant. We went to pay for a meal, and it's like, it's already taken care of. We're like, what? And we're like, and I was like, I told him, I said, hey, we just got blessed. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
It was a small little thing that someone did, but it's very grateful to be on the receiving end of that too.
Yeah, because like if you're going through the drive-through, you may be limited on your money as well. So, but you still want to give something. So you can always ask, like, how much is the total behind me? And if you can afford it, it's like, let me pay theirs, and then they would be blessed. So it's up to you whether you can do that yourself. But when you on the receiving end, it's like, what? It's such a blessing, to know that somebody just actually took the time and was generous enough, especially in today's world, and generous enough to care about somebody else, and that they wanted to bless somebody else.
And and with that experience, like you're saying, you want to bless someone else. We have to be observant of the opportunities, because opportunities may come, and we have to be prepared for it. And for me, some time ago, I ran an errand to the store for some type of thing, and I was in the checkout line, and there was this family ahead of me, and they were going through, and they got their total. Then they were like, we're gonna have to take some things off. And so they're like, well, let's take this off, and we'll take this off. And how much is it now? How much is it? And he's asking the person that register, and they're like, what's this? Oh, we gotta take this off. And I'm going through my mind. I remember, God, I remember saying, if I'm ever in this opportunity to bless someone, to take advantage of it. And so boom, right there it was. It was right that opportunity. I was like, okay, God, I asked for it. Here I am.
Right. Yes.
And so I was like, okay, take action. Because before I have not in similar type of thing. And so I said, okay, take action. And I went up and I said, keep everything you have, I'll pay the difference. And they were like, oh my gosh, thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. I was like, that's okay. We'll pay you back. I was like, that's okay. And it felt wonderful to be able to bless them, to help them get the things they needed and they desired there. And it receiving is great, but giving to us is even better.
Right.
And so I took the action on that opportunity, and the blessing I got from it was just awesome.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing you have to remember, is like to take the action part, because you ask God, to put that opportunity in your path, and he did. So you had the choice to, okay, well, they'll be okay without that. They don't need that. But you stepped up and you did that as you asked God to put that path, to the opportunity to your path. And you not only felt the joy of giving, but you seen the love and the gratefulness on their face, by like, okay, I needed this, and God made a way for this. And so whether they was Christians or not, that's beside the point, but they still felt the blessing that came from that, taking that opportunity and just taking action to do it.
Yeah, because, I had years beforehand, I had similar opportunity to some degree, and I didn't take action, and I felt empty with it. And I felt like, I missed out on a blessing to blessing someone else. And that's why I say, God, if I ever have the opportunity again, I'm going to do it. And that God's like, oh, shoot, here we are. And so I took the action, and, it was fulfilling, maybe a little uncomfortable,
Mhm.
but it was fulfilling.
Yeah,
And so, you may see the opportunity, during this time period. It doesn't have to be Thanksgiving, even anytime,
that's true.
and you see the opportunity to help someone in some little small way, it can be such an impact on them.
Right.
I mean, I did it one time during the winter time. We was at a store, local store, and one lady was trying to get the clean her window shield off and stuff,
Yeah.
and there was, snow, but there was ice on top of it.
Yeah.
And she had a little scraper and she's trying to scrape it
Yeah.
off. And I was like, I'm gonna, help her out. And she's like, okay. And I'm up there banging my elbow on the ice and just to break it loose and everything. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, so thank you so much. Thank you. She was, I've been working on this for a while if you didn't help me.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. And she was so grateful. I mean, she was like an older woman. So, I mean, you see that and like your heart is like, oh, here, let me help you. And so she was able to get into the car and be warm while, Jim was able to break the ice on her because it was like a very, very cold day. I remember that, and it was very cold. But he's willing to get out there and do that. It was
Mhm.
maybe like, oh, it's too cold for me to get out there. But I know she'll figure it out, or she'll be able to get it done. But she didn't,
No, I
So,
took
and it
action.
meant took action. It meant a lot to her. I mean, she was very,
Yes.
very grateful because I mean, it would have taken her a while. So those things, when people say, "Well, I thought about doing this, or I thought about doing that," well, take the time right now to be able to take that action to do something that is showing gratefulness and showing how thankful that you are for people. And we're saying things that you can do, and some of those cost a little money or maybe cost a little something extra, and you may or may not have it, but you may say, well, I would love to do that. I would love to show gratefulness to someone, but I just don't have the money to do that.
Hmm.
Well, there are so many things you can do that does not cost anything, and it brings so much joy to someone. And that's as simple as just writing a note, a personal handwritten note.
Yes.
And when you see them, at the Thanksgiving dinner, your family member, give that to them. And it's going to mean so much. Or at work, you can put a note on somebody's car or desk of coworker, or put it to where they're going to see it, and it's going to mean a lot. And you took that time, your time and effort, to show appreciation to them. I remember when I worked in the office setting a few years ago that I would pay attention to the people around me, and I would find out, their interests or what kind of things they liked. And then I wouldn't really say, what do you like? But I was observant. Active listening is a big part of this. But, I would make it a habit to periodically, just not like they wasn't expecting it. It's different people. We had quite a few people in the office. And so when I noticed something, or I would just intentionally, at least once a week, I would just write a handwritten note. I'd have some blank cards there, and you can usually you can go Dollar Tree, and you can get $1.25 and get like 8 or 10 in the card, in the package. So there you go. You got a cheap thing. You can go out, or you can just get a blank piece of paper sitting around your house and write the note and fold it up and lay it where they will get it, or hand it to them, either one. But I would, this one time, this one girl, she was like not the best attitude in the office. She was usually complaining about something. She usually had kind of a, you know, sarcastic attitude and kind of hard to get along with for most people. But she was a hard worker. She did things. And so one time I written a handwritten note, and I told her how much, appreciate all that she was doing, how great she was doing her job and making a difference in the impact of the people that is coming into our office. And I also knew the treat that she liked. And so what I did is I went and got a little bag of treat that I like, and it's kind of hard to find, but it wasn't expensive, but it was something she liked. But so before she got into work, into the office, I went and put that handwritten card, onto her desk, along with the treat that she had that she liked. And she was just blown away. I mean, this was somebody who was not usually normally pleasant, but she came and she's like, "Wow!" She goes, "That was for me. That was for me. You wanted that to be for me." And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." I said, "I know you like these treats, and I appreciate all that you're doing." And she was just blown away, and her attitude changed. And so that's things that you can do just to, people that maybe feel disconnected or feel like they're, maybe not valued, if you do those little things, sometimes it can change their mindset. Maybe it can change your relationship. And that's something that I have found to do. And I've done that frequently, throughout the office. I would do that one and it would make a difference in their attitude, their day. It
Oh
could
yeah.
change it for good for the relationship and just the connection that you've had together. So that's something that you can do. Just a handwritten note, blank piece of paper on the house, go get you some blank thank you cards at the store and just write something in there like, I'm thankful for you, or you even a memory if you have a memory or why you're thankful for them. But just let them know that they're valued, that you love them, that you care for them, and you appreciate them is something that's priceless. And so that's something that does not cost you any money to be able to do. And that's another tip that you can put out there for this week as well.
And it's very impactful.
It is very impactful, very impactful.
It was like handwritten note these days is
Rare.
it's rare.
Yeah.
Normally I'll just type this up and print
Yeah.
it out and send it to you, or to send you
Not
an
the same.
email or a text message, or some other type of form of
Yeah.
communication that way.
Yeah.
And those can be very beneficial and be very helpful. I mean, sometimes you have somebody you may not know the mailing address anymore. Just
True.
send them something, but you know their phone number. So, you send them a text message, or, like a video chat type of thing, something like
Voice message.
Yes.
They can hear your voice.
And those are other alternative ways to, let people know that you feel about it, that they're appreciated, that
Yeah.
you are thinking of them.
Yeah. It could be somebody you haven't talked to for a while, but you think about them quite often, but you just let that slip away. Like, they know I care. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, today's the day, take this effort and just like let them know. It don't cost you nothing to send a text
Mhm.
of appreciation. I was just thinking about you. How are you doing? I just was thinking about you, wanted to tell you how much that I appreciate you for being a part of my life. As simple as that if you want to, or you can go into extension, however you think you want to do. Totally up to you. Make it personalized. And so that costs you nothing. A voice message, on like Messenger costs you nothing. But it's priceless to hear somebody's voice that they took the time to say, hey,
Yes.
it gives us that peace, that comfort, that joy, make it funny, make it personal, whatever, however your personality is, but it's priceless and it costs you nothing, but your time and your willingness to be able to do it, just like you was taking action. All you need to do is take that action and it means a lot.
Yeah, and I'm just, thinking, the Thanksgiving and giving thanks, it doesn't have to be this time of the year, but it's like any time like we're talking about.
Mhm.
And it makes me remember of a time when I was really young. Our parents as parents, want to teach those around us.
Right.
And I remember when I was second, third, fourth grade, somewhere in that time period. My father was a pastor in a small little town, and so we went to go visit this one lady. She wasn't very well off. She didn't have a whole lot, and we had been there before, and so it was, Thanksgiving time period, Christmas, somewhere in that time period, and they like, she doesn't have a whole lot, but she's going to give you kids. I have two younger sisters, a gift. Show that you appreciate it. She's given as much as she can give, and I was like, okay, and so. It's a memorable time.
Yeah. It's still touching.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows the impact. Yeah.
And so she was there and she gave me a little orange farm tractor. And from what my dad and my mom was telling me about, to give thanks and show appreciation for it.
Mm.
Seeing, how she had lived and what she was in her environment, to give that, even at that young age, it was impactful to me that, wow, she's looking to do something small.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone else has been, oh, you just give me a little, farm tractor. Wow. But I took it as like, wow, that was really something she had to really come up with. And I was like, thank you. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to play with this.
Right.
And so, that experience of giving thanks, being on the receiving end,
Mm-hmm.
how impactful it is to those that give. So, that's gone in my life, and, to show our kids and, And even within my own self, like I was talking about earlier, being in line there and being able to help someone else, so being able to give someone something at some time that you don't have, or they don't have, excuse me, but you do have, and you're able to, and the impact is, so you know we can have things in our life with it, and as parents are just thinking, sometimes we need to teach our kids that, or those around us, doesn't matter their
Right.
age,
Right.
because sometimes somebody may never been around them. We've talked to people that you know and heard of where people like, well, my parents never hugged me and said I love me or
Right.
love you.
Yeah.
And sometimes we take that for granted.
Hmm.
So being thankful for what others do, or showing the small appreciation ways,
Right.
like your handwriting or things, sometimes we like, oh, no big deal. They know how
Right.
it is. There's no
Yeah.
reason for me to do that.
Right.
I'm wasting my time.
Hmm.
No, no, you're not wasting your time.
No.
I mean, you'll be having impact. And so,
Right.
hopefully, during this time of the year, this will help bring that to your remembrance even
Right.
more, that,
Right.
we don't have to even wait during Thanksgiving to do that. It's greater to give than
That is
receive.
true. It is
And
true.
so we enjoy giving what we can in
Hmm.
any way it could be: time,
Hmm.
money, input, uh, also knowledge, experience, you know, you know, any way it's fulfilling to us.
Yeah. And there's, like you were saying, family, sometimes we can take it for granted. Sometimes it is just the time
Mhm.
that of spending with someone else. Because I remember my grandma, she was like in her 80s. And so she didn't really come in and mingle as much because, there's kids and there's different stuff going on, and she needed like a walker at that time. But we would always go into the room, and all those different ones at different times would always definitely go in there and talk with her. But she was so full of love and knowledge. Her experiences that she had was just like, oh my goodness, it's just like you just leaning in, soaking it up. And so it didn't cost nothing but our time, and it cost us our time to go in and talk to her. And you just came out so uplifted. You came out wow, like, wow, so thankful for what you have now, because she was in her 80s and she lived to be almost 100. And all through her life, she's been a blessing to me. But when she couldn't get out, basically, and come and mingle with everybody, we'd all go in different times and mingle with her. And
Mhm.
such a richness just to feel, just to be there, because it was just like a whole different environment, basically, when you could go in there, talk with her. Because I mean, her testimonies that she had, her
Mhm.
life experiences that she had, I mean, my goodness. And it makes you grateful for those people that can feed into you. And that's, you don't take that for granted, because I used to, give her things outside of her Christmas or Thanksgiving, and just go in there at times and we go talk with her. And it was just someone that, fed into my life and fed into our life. And it just, you don't want to wait until people is gone before you tell them, I love
Yes.
you. And I think you just like the ones, you never had a parent say, I love you. And like, that's sad to me,
Mhm.
so we're not like that. We're just like, oh, I love you. I just, our kids, they get more hugs and kisses than they want. I'm sure even, even now, mama bear is coming over, like trying to give them hugs and kisses. I give them more if they let me. They're growing up a little bit, but I still do. It's still there. And I would hug them a million times a day and tell them I love them. But you want people, that is special to you, and sometimes you just have to take that effort of just saying it, of saying, I think I'm thankful for you. And so just like my grandma was in the room, well, it didn't cost her nothing. But the experience that we had was just, still to this day, my dad was saying, like, to this day, you still hear the words that they say. You still hear their voice, and you still hear their insight. Like when you face something,
Mhm.
you can hear what they're saying. So those people is someone you want to definitely be intentional about and say, hey, I just want to tell you I appreciate you. As simple as that. Or if you're more want to go into more depth, up to you, But if you're not really someone who expresses, that's all you need to say, and it makes their heart, just
Yeah.
full of joy and love, and just like, wow, this is a good feeling to have, and it goes on both ends. And so being thankful, being grateful, feeling blessed to have people in your life, it doesn't have to cost you any money, but it can be something that is your time, like we keep saying. And time
Mhm.
is a precious, valuable resource that we have. And so we are to use it wisely and to share in
Yes.
our time with the people that we love. And there's people that we may not even know. People go to a restaurant during the week or any time of the year, and be kind to the waitress, because they're taking their time. You don't know their background, you know the history. And if you want to, some people do say, hey, can you tell me your story? Even to the waitress, and you'll have the waitress that pouring out to you because they have so much overload. They may be a single parent,
Yep.
and they have maybe dealing with some kind of addiction, and they're trying to get their life together. So I mean, you may think that your life is maybe not important, or your kindness is not important, but it is.
Oh yes, big time.
It is very important.
Yeah. So these are things we're sharing of our own life experiences,
Hmm.
and the time is we have so much time. We don't need to take our time for granted.
Right.
And so we have loved ones that we want to talk to or share time with, and just like you're saying with your grandmother, I remember going there in the room and
Hmm.
just sitting there and
Yeah.
listening to her, and it's amazing things she would say. But taking that time, because a lot of times, especially with elderly, friends or parents or loved ones, we're like, oh, we'll get to them later, get to them later,
Hmm.
and then something happens, and they're not around. You're like, oh my gosh,
And you have the regret.
if I only, why'd I do this? It only take me just an hour, or, half
Hmm.
an hour, or just to stop by, or just to, even write a little hand note or give a call. But no, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
And then, like you're saying, the regret.
Yeah.
And so, we have to be conscious of that as well. I mean, all of us, because sometimes we get all busy.
Yeah, and life should never get so busy that you can't be grateful,
Yeah.
for each other, or
Hmm.
for the people around you, or for even the things you have, because we are blessed in America. And the things that we're like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. So I don't have, I'll be happy when I get this big house. I'll be happy when I get this car. And you have people in other countries that's happy to have a block room to sleep in, to get them out of the environment that they're in, and they're happy as can be, and they ride a bicycle and they're happy as can be. They're thankful for the things they have,
Hmm.
and they don't take it for granted. But here we take things for granted. Well, we got to have the next best step, we got to have the next best car, or the house, or we got to have our family looking perfect. Well, that's not the key to life. That is not the key to life. And so it's something that we just have to understand, that what we have, wherever you're at, to be grateful for. And I
Yes.
believe gratefulness opens up the blessings of heaven. And I believe, if you're always griping and complaining because, you don't have something that you want in your life, I believe that can close it up a little bit. I believe that disconnection can happen. So I believe that gratefulness in our heart, and the feeling blessed, and to know that I am thankful for where I am right now. I am thankful for what I have, where I'm at, and I am thankful for my life. May not be perfect, it may not be where you want to be, but be thankful where you're at, and the blessings will begin to come your way even more. And you will be surprised at how gratefulness opens up blessings and opportunities of growth, and all the things that can come with just thanking God for what's in your life and who's in your life.
Yes, I mean, and sometimes we think what we're going through, nobody's experiencing.
Yeah.
That I have no
It's
reason
not
to be
true.
grateful for anything.
Nobody understands.
And there's been times in our lives, and we've had that at times. And
Hmm.
for me, I had a time period where I was like, what am I grateful for?
Yeah.
And but then I had to, you know, think, okay, God, you have blessed me in this way and that way. And so I had to look and change that way. And sometimes we have to look at what God says in the Bible. And for me, there was one book, the book of Job, you know, and I hear about how terrible things happened to his life suddenly. but he was still grateful to God. He still gave God thanks.
Right.
And then he got blessed even more than what he before.
Right.
So I mean, I was like, after reading that, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to complain about. Yeah,
Right.
I'm grateful. I don't like what I'm going through, but
Right.
I'm grateful for God.
Right.
I'm grateful for family. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for other things around me. What I do have and where I am, I am so grateful.
All right.
And so so I just say that. So no matter where you're at in your life, you be grateful for it. Because and the one friend of mine that was going through a rough time, he's like, everything, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. He goes, then he started telling me about, different things that he's done recently at that time period. And I'm like, well, those are blessings. Those are blessings. You should be grateful for that. And he was like, I didn't see that. He's like, wow, I didn't recognize that. And, sometimes we're in the midst of our own stuff, life going on,
Right.
that sometimes we don't see the things that we should be grateful for,
Right.
and that we got blessed with.
Yeah.
And so, I brought that to his attention, and he was like, whoa, things aren't better than what I thought.
Yeah.
And that to me helped me for myself, seeing that I said, I'm like, look at my life.
Right.
Hell, I gotta be grateful for this too.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes we can look at people and we think they got it all together. We can look at people and it's like, they don't have any issues. They got a great family. Their marriage is great, or they have a great successful job. And a lot of times that can be further from the truth. Because I remember when we were speaking at a church, we were sharing about us. And, we have been through a lot in our journey, lots of ups and downs in our journey. And we can never, ever, ever go out of our way to make people think that we have it all together.
Oh, no.
That's not anything we ever do. But the people's perception of us, they like, oh my gosh, hearing your story, I was surprised because you seem like you had it all together. You had the perfect family, you had the jobs, and you had success and everything. And we're all like, no, we have been through a lot in our journey, and that's things that people wants to say, well, they don't need my appreciation, they don't need my connection, they don't need to let them know that they're important because they got it all together. I'm the one needs somebody to talk to. Well, you may too. Hopefully somebody spends time with you and tells you that as well. But with us, people were just had that perspective about us without knowing us. And so that's something that we became more aware of. It's been a few years ago, so we become more aware of that since then, and been more transparent about about where we're at and how we got here. And we didn't just get here overnight, but you have to take the time to get to know people and building that relationship. You may be going to church or being a coworker of someone for 10 years and don't know them. Sure. You may just like, they got this all together. Yeah, we say hi, we're acquaintances, but you don't know the struggles that's on the other side. You don't know the pain that they go through at nighttime when they're by themselves, the tears that they shed, or the struggles that they have financially, or just something in them is just telling them they're not worthy. And so they need somebody, but they won't be that person who steps out and tells you, well, okay, let's just make everybody think we got it all together. Well, that's not us on that. But you need to be aware of like the people that's around you, and just to say, hey, I care about you, and I just want to express to you to say, I appreciate you being here every day. I appreciate you come in and you give it your all, and I think and maybe I don't say it enough, but I just want to let you know today that I do appreciate you, and I think you are a person who I enjoy being with on my journey. And so things like that can make a difference, and it can change somebody else's perspective of them. And those are just words that you said, but those words that you have can bring life or death.
Oh, yes.
And so even something that don't cost you anything, it can transform somebody's life with just your words of encouragement and just acknowledgement to know that they're valued, that they're heard, that they're loved, and they're appreciated. And no matter what level you're on, whether you're the CEO, whether you're the manager, whether you're a supervisor, whether you're a school teacher, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a parent, take those times. If you do nothing else, take those times and let people know that you appreciate them and acknowledge them. And it can absolutely be the very things, the very words of encouragement that changes their mindset and that lets them know I can, be this person I desire to be, but I've just been too afraid to step out and do it. It can be a life changing for someone around you.
Yeah, I mean, you can be around people that um, just being in their space, in their environment, make them feel worthwhile,
Right,
appreciated.
right.
You know, there was a time her son was kind of down, whatever, and um, he liked playing video games. So I hung out, play video games for a while. He taught me a bunch of stuff. And he does awesome at it, but he enjoyed that time together.
Mhm.
And it was very, it was
And
very
we enjoy the time together. It's
yeah, with him too. Yeah.
definitely not good at
Yeah.
it at all. But
And so, but that was just uplifting to me to learn some more about games. And the games have changed over the years. But the time just to spend there with him, the time we do together, we spend with him, and we also with the other kids and doing things that they enjoy.
yeah,
And so that just showing appreciation. We love doing that with them,
yes,
and so there's just small little things that we can do that they can show appreciation and thankful for what they are, who they are, and
right,
so I mean that's so we do with just our family.
right.
Can we do all that we like all the time? No, we can't. We can't make it all the time and do all the things we want to do, but we do as much as we possibly
And
can.
we strive daily to be better each time.
Yes. So we just encourage you to be thankful of those around you,
Mhm.
um, and show the appreciation. And
Right.
maybe just a high five, or I really appreciate you helping me out with this, or what you told me that one time. That really helped me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything does not have to be expensive. I mean, you can do like we're saying, we just want to give you some tips. So it could be like the prepaid meals, go to the coffee or pay somebody's order amount behind you in a drive through, or, handwritten notes, a little tractor, for a little
Yeah.
3-year-old kid makes still an impact today. And so, there's things that you can do. Send a text, just say hi, just like you're saying, a high five, just something of words of encouragement. Those don't cost you anything. Depends on what level of your wellness and what you're capable of doing. But all these things revolve around gratefulness and being thankful and being blessed for just what God has put in your life at the time. Because what they say, your present is a gift.
Yes.
And so it's a gift of your time, a gift of your appreciation, your insight, your experiences. Those are all things that don't cost you anything, but it's so, so wonderful.
Yes. And the times we have together, I really appreciate the times we have. I'm very grateful for that. And sometimes like we just can be in the room, just be each other's presence. We don't have to say much, but that just being there is, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Just like with our kids, at times just being with them is maybe not have to say anything or a whole lot, but just being there is just grateful to be able to have the time to spend with them and with each other.
Right.
And it's rewarding.
It is. A lot of times, our human nature is to take. We want to receive, we
Mhm.
want to receive, we want to receive. Okay. But it's also a joy and a blessing to give. So if you in a congregation, maybe you need to let your pastor know. It's not always up to him to feed into you, but let your pastor know. Let your class, your young adults, the teachers, let them know that you appreciate all the time and effort, because it does take a lot of time and effort on their end to do what they're doing, and they're
Mhm.
constantly feeding into you. And so you have the classroom, the children. If you have children in school, maybe you can let your child give a little gift or just a handwritten note to the teacher. I mean, so all the things that we do in life a lot of times is we want to get. Well,
Yes.
wherever you're at, if you need to let somebody else know, be that person who steps out first. Be that person who's like, I'm going to be the one who makes a difference in today. I'm going to be the difference who can say words of encouragement to someone else in whatever way that works for you. So don't always expect the other ones to be given to you, but always be looking for opportunities to be given to others as well, and then it will flow back to you.
Yes. That reminds me of a little commercial scene where, somebody's walking across the street and somebody saw like a car or somebody coming, and they weren't paying attention. The person was getting ready to walk across the crosswalk, wasn't paying attention. Someone went up there and stopped them. He's like, I seen this, just wanted to stop this for you. So they were like, wow, they're gonna help me.
Yeah.
And so they saw that when they helped someone else. So,
Yeah.
when you help someone else and you show appreciation, people who watch it see that, and you probably get that back from someone else or somehow, some other way.
We have so many stories and so many things that we could keep going and going and going.
That's very true. Yes.
We could keep going and talking to you for days about things, but we just want to get on here and share some tips, different ideas. We love to be able to be creative and get your creative juices flowing, during this creative season. It's a season of Thanksgiving, so personalize it how it comes to you, humorous, educational, but let people know that you appreciate them. So that's what we wanted to get on here and share insight about the different stories or about tips, methods, and resources that you can do during this Thanksgiving week. And so it is wonderful to be able to get on here and spend time with you on the journey of life, love, and lessons. And what we do as we love to give people a platform here to share their stories, because we're all about, like we said earlier, impacting lives together. So we help people with the Next Level Leadership Academy to be able to step into their potential, their purpose. And sometimes we don't think we have a next season or a next level that's greater than where we're at. Well, this is all there is to life. Well, we're here to help people of all levels to be able to step into the life that is fulfilling, the life that God created for you, and to be able to share the insight. And there's methods and tips and tricks that we do, to teach the leadership, the strategies, the trainings that we do for communication, for building the right culture in your ministry and in your organization, and also with your family. It all goes into that relationship thing that makes it very rewarding and creative and bonding. And so we love helping people with the Next Level Leadership Academy to be able to do that, because we believe that impacting the others and the ones who's leading can be a bigger influence to the others around them, and has a ripple effect.
Oh yes.
That we just keep going and going, with you get someone who's willing to pour into themselves and is willing to pour into others. And so it's rewarding. So we will put information about what we do into the comments as well, so you can connect with us. Our website is nextlevelleadershipacademy.net. So you can get on there and check us out. And we also have Next Level Leadership Academy Facebook that you can. And we also have a Manifest Your God-Given Purpose private group that you can come into us as well, so we can feed more into you, into that group as well. But we love giving people a platform, and that's what we have. Incredible guests.
Oh yes.
There's gonna be a lot more to come.
Oh yeah.
And so we love being able to share into your life and to impact somehow, whether it's words that we say or words that our guests will be saying. We absolutely love the results that has come from this, and the blessings of having you as a viewer. We're absolutely wonderfully blessed that you are here with us, and it means the world to us to know that we're making together, watching, hosting the guests, that together that we are impacting the world in a positive direction.
Yes, and may think you do not have any impact.
You do.
But take a rock and drop into a puddle of water or a big pond or something like that, and what do you see? You see the little ripples.
Yeah.
So something so small can have ripple effects.
Right.
So you have ripple effects.
Yes.
You can grow, even though you may not think you're where you want to be. You can grow even more.
Right.
And people will be very grateful for you and thankful for you.
Yes. Yes. You can be a blessing to other people in their life with just your insight and your willingness to be that influence and that impact in their life. You may seem like you don't have nothing to offer, but believe me, you do. You have something to offer that someone else is needing in their life, and you are a blessing.
Yes. So we're very grateful to have this time to spend with you. We
Yes.
hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving week
Yes.
and time with family, friends, co-workers, whoever it may be.
Enjoy it all, right?
Need some money in the store and on the street and wherever it may be. Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And so we look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we will see you later.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.